Hello and welcome to Whose Line Is It Anyway, the improvisation programme where the participants think up brilliant and entertaining lines just on the spur of the moment, or sometimes just after the moment has passed when it's just too late. But pitching their witticisms against the games tonight, we have first of all Doctor, comedian and goody-goody Graeme Garden here in the flesh to prove that his body matters. Then Jan Ravens, who provides some of the voices for the rubbery satire of Spitting Image and all the voices in her own acting roles. Then from Los Angeles we have George McGrath, currently regarded as one of the funniest performers in America, at least by people who haven't seen Senator Dan Quayle in action yet. And finally, actor, writer, comedian, impressionist, scholar, academic, wit, raconteur and president of the John Sessions fan club, John Sessions. Ladies and gentlemen, the contestants. Now, the first game is called Authors, and regular viewers of this programme, if there are such things, will know that the participants come along with a famous author's style in mind, ready to tell a story in that style. So if I can ask you all to come forward, ready to tell our story for us, right down on the performing area. Now, Graeme, which author's style have you elected to go for?
I'll have a shot at J.B. Priestley.
J.B. Priestley? Well, why not? And Jan?
Ayres.
Ayres, right, the poet laureate. And George...
I've chosen Dr. Roget, the Thesaurus guy.
Oh, right. Right. You're making it easy for yourself then, are you? And John?
D.H. Lawrence.
D.H. Lawrence.
Yeah.
Right, now, to make it nice and improvised, what we need is a title for the story, but from somebody in the studio audience. So can somebody suggest a title for us, please? Sleeping Beauty. Sorry? Sleeping Beauty. The Sleeping Beauty. Yes, obviously autobiographical as far as you're concerned. At least partially, because I noticed you're asleep. Now, OK, off you go. I'll move on from one to the other with a buzzer. So starting off, Graeme, if you would, now.
The fog drifted down from the top of the factory chimneys. Jason Udderworthy, as was his wont, kicked off his clogs before kicking his whippet Beauty. It was
a lovely whippet. She could not go fast. Her name, it was Beauty. They'd named her in the past.
She was a sleeping beauty, a dozing pretty girl, a napping babe, a comatose doll.
Dull-like, that's what Clifford Chatterley was, dull-like in his heart and soul. A parallelogram, no heart, no soul, but there she was. Constance Chatterley was there, looking down at her beauty, manly, powerful he was. Mellors, built like a chestnut mare, riding her, the plumed serpent of his turpitude, lost now inside her, no brambles round castle, all love and passion deep inside her.
Run again. Yeah. Back to you, Graeme.
Don't talk to me about parallelograms, said Jason Udderworth. Come here, Whippet, and have this supper. Outside, there was trouble at mill.
At the mill, all was trouble. Everyone was getting shirty. Beauty was being a bit of a one. She was getting really flirty.
She was eyeing people. She was giving come-hither looks. She was drawing attention to her body parts. She was making her eyes wide and her legs as well.
The legs are well spaced, said Mellors, stripping off the hot, wet corduroy down to his knees. That was more that he's not gonna make my hit, my God. What planet do you come from, Mellors? Said Lady Chatterley. That be Beauty. That be beast, a ratty further than that Lord ever drove thee. I can't understand a word you're saying. No.
Thank you, John. Thank you, everybody. All right, that'll do. That'll do, all right. All right, there, now. It's so difficult to award points here, so I'll give none for that round. Now, the next game is called Story, and it features George McGrath, and he's going to be telling a story for us. So if you'd like to come here, George, and get ready to tell the story. And he'll be involving the other participants who'll be acting parts out in his story. So if they could go over to the other side, ready to be drawn in to the story. But the title of the story is going to be suggested for us by somebody in the studio audience here. So I'm going to go off and find somebody. Now, can I just come to you? What's your name?
Abby.
Abby? Some strange names we've got in the audience this week. Well, not you're the first person I've asked, obviously, but have you got a title for a story for us, Abby?
A Day in the Life of a Rubber Duck.
A Day in the Life of a Rubber Duck. That's a very good story. A bit bizarre, really. And we like a moral that the story might illustrate. Have you got a moral that the story might illustrate?
A rolling stone gathers no mirth.
No mirth?
No mirth.
No. All right. No what? This member of our audience is Irish. A rolling stone gathers no moss. Why don't we make it nice and simple like that? And I've forgotten what the title of the story was.
A Day in the Life of a Rubber Duck.
Oh, that's it. A Day in the Life of a Rubber Duck. So away you go, George.
Once upon a time, there was a beautiful little girl who lived all alone in a cottage in a beautiful little wood. She had no friends at all, but she did have a beautiful rubber duck that she loved to play with. It was huge!
It was huge. Oh, I love my rubber duck so much. I'm gonna give it a great big hug.
She said, kissing it mysteriously. Soon there was a jingle at the door.
Oh, there's a jingle at the door. Come on, Ducky, let's go and answer it.
It was her beloved grandfather. He was covered with moss. He'd been out in the village for so long she hadn't seen him in years. He was covered with moss.
Grandfather, you're covered in moss.
She said,
Here.
repeating what the narrator had said over and over again already.
Look, sit down here and have a cuddle of my rubber duck while I go and make you a nice cup of tea.
She said, trying to escape from the scene.
You'll have to speak up. I'm covered in moss.
Said the grandfather, repeating it just one more time.
I've made a cup of tea incredibly quickly for the purposes of the improvisation.
Said the girl, speaking as quickly as she could. Soon there was another jingle at the door. It was Keith Richards.
Oh, hi!
Hello, I just decided to roll in.
Hi!
He said, making a pun.
Hey, I think you used to be one of my mom's favorite guitar heroes or something,
No,
didn't you?
I used to be an exhibit in the Natural History Museum.
Well, why don't you come over here and talk to the rubber duck? Because I'm sure you'd have a lot in common.
Did you bring it in through South America, the duck?
No, I've had it here all the time. It's sitting here on my grandfather's knee.
Soon the grandfather began to heave and cough, and everyone knew it was time to gather the moss off him immediately before he would die.
Will you help me gather this moss, please?
No, rolling stones don't gather moss.
He said, giving the moral away a bit early.
No. Oh, no, early enough. Thank you. All right.
It was fine. Sorry, is that too short? No.
Well, subtly reworded, I think we got the moral there. So I think 45 points there to everyone apart from Jan. I'm going to give her 1,000 points because I like her. Now, the next...